Hello and welcome to this lesson on SAP S/4HANA Cloud for Beginners course. In this lesson, we're going to explore a fundamental question. What is ERP? Have you ever wondered how a company like Apple manages to keep everything running smoothly, from sourcing components for iPhones and MacBooks, to tracking inventory of AirPods, to making sure financials are up to date? The answer lies in a type of software system known as Enterprise Resource Planning, ERP. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand what ERP is, why it's so important for businesses, and how companies, including Apple, use ERP systems to bring all their complex operations under one roof. Are you ready to discover the behind-the-scenes technology that keeps global businesses in sync? Let's dive in. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. In simple terms, it's a software system that acts as the central nervous system for a company's operations. Instead of having separate systems for finance, sales, inventory, human resources, and so on, an ERP brings all these functions together in one integrated platform. This means that different departments share the same information and talk to each other through the ERP. For instance, when Apple's sales department records an iPhone sale, the ERP system immediately updates inventory levels, triggers the finance module to log the revenue, and can even signal the production team if stock is running low. Everything is interconnected. Imagine ERP as a single source of truth. Before ERP systems, companies often struggled with fragmented information. The marketing team might have one set of data, production another, and finance yet another. This could lead to confusion or mistakes, like the factory building too many AirPods because they didn't realize a big sales order was cancelled. ERP solves this by housing all critical data in one place, updated in real time. So at Apple, if a new MacBook component shipment arrives, the procurement team's update in the ERP instantly becomes visible to others who need that information, like manufacturing or supply chain managers. Throughout this course, Apple will serve as our illustrative case study, enabling you to clearly visualize and practically apply key SAP S/4HANA Cloud concepts. At its core, an ERP covers a range of business processes. Here are a few key areas and what ERP does for them. Finance and accounting tracks all money flows. Every sale, like an iPhone purchase on Apple's online store, is recorded. Every expense is logged, and financial statements are generated without lots of manual work. ERP ensures Apple's finance team always knows the company's cash flow and profitability. Supply chain and inventory. Management keeps tabs on materials and products. When Apple's warehouse ships out a batch of iPads, the ERP updates inventory and can automatically reorder components if they fall below a threshold. This helps prevent stockouts and overstocking. Sales and order processing manages customer orders from start to finish. If a customer orders a custom configured MacBook, the ERP system takes that order, checks that components are available, schedules the production, and tracks the order until delivery. Everything from the customer's address to the delivery status is in the system. Production planning helps plan what to manufacture and when. For Apple, this means using ERP to schedule how many iPhones or AirPods to produce in a week based on demand forecasts, and ensuring the necessary parts, chips, screens, batteries are available for that production run. Human Resources HR manages employee information, payroll, recruitment, and so on. While this might not tie into Apple's products directly, ERP ensures Apple's HR team can quickly onboard thousands of new retail employees when a new iPhone launches, for example, and sync that with payroll and scheduling. These are just a few examples. ERP systems can also cover areas like procurement, customer relationship management, project management, and more. The big idea is that ERP links all these business functions so that information flows freely and securely between them. In this SAP S/4HANA Cloud course, we'll consistently use Apple as a practical example throughout our sessions. By applying concepts directly to Apple's familiar business operations, you'll gain clearer insights into SAP S/4HANA's functionality and its real-world applications. Leveraging Apple as our illustrative case study will enhance understanding, simplify complex topics, and help you visualize how SAP S/4HANA Cloud effectively drives business transformation. For a company the size of Apple, managing operations without an ERP would be incredibly difficult. Think about Apple launching a new product, say the latest iPhone. There are millions of pre-orders, components coming from dozens of suppliers worldwide, assembly happening in multiple factories, shipments to stores across the globe, and a marketing campaign rolling out at the same time. ERP is what enables Apple to handle this complexity. Here's why ERP is so crucial. By integrating processes, ERP eliminates duplicate work and reduces errors. Apple's teams don't have to enter the same data in multiple systems or spreadsheets. When the marketing team updates the expected demand for the new iPhone, the production planners see that instantly and can adjust factory schedules. Everyone saves time and avoids costly mistakes. ERP systems today often work in real time. This means Apple's managers can get up-to-the-minute reports. If an airports factory in China faces a parts shortage right now, an ERP can show that information immediately on a dashboard in California. Quick, informed decisions become possible because the information is current. As a business grows, ERP grows with it. Back when Apple was just selling the Macintosh in the 1980s, the complexity was less. Today, Apple deals with phones, computers, services, wearables, and more across continents. A good ERP system can scale to handle that huge scope of operations. It's like having a system that can go from handling a small town's needs to managing a bustling city without breaking down. Big companies have to follow lots of regulations and need thorough record keeping. ERP helps by tracking transactions and changes, making it easier for Apple to audit its processes, ensure quality, think of tracing a batch of iPhones if a defect is found, and comply with financial reporting standards. Because ERP brings together data from all parts of a company, it helps leaders see the big picture. Apple's executives can analyze trends and performance across the whole company. For example, they could use ERP data to decide if it's cost effective to ramp up production of MacBooks or to introduce a new variant of AirPods because they can see sales, costs, and supply chain capacity all in one place. To sum it up, ERP is like the brains of a company's IT landscape. It thinks across different departments so the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. At Apple, whether it's arranging the supply of A-series chips for iPhones or planning the next retail store opening, an ERP system helps keep everything coordinated. It's worth noting that many ERP providers exist, but one of the largest and most influential is SAP. In fact, SAP is the company behind the S/4HANA cloud system that this course is about. Even Apple has recognized the importance of SAP's expertise. In 2016, Apple and SAP announced a partnership to improve mobile work by combining the iPhone and iPad with SAP's powerful business software. This highlights that even the world's most innovative tech company sees value in ERP capabilities. Now that we've defined what ERP is and why it's so essential, especially through the lens of a company like Apple, you have a solid foundation. In the next lesson, we will journey through the history of SAP itself, the company that became synonymous with ERP. Before we move on, take a moment to consider, how do you think having a single integrated system might change the way you work in your organization? Can you identify any areas where an ERP could solve information gaps or inefficiencies? Keep these thoughts in mind as we continue, because understanding the why behind ERP will make the specifics of SAP's solutions even more meaningful. In this lesson, you learned what ERP is and why it's the backbone of modern businesses. We explored how an ERP system integrates various departments from finance and sales to manufacturing and HR into one unified platform. Using Apple as an example, we saw that ERP creates a single source of truth for a company. When a customer buys an iPhone, the sale, inventory update, and financial entry can all happen in one system seamlessly. We also discussed the key functions of ERP like managing finances, supply chain, sales orders, production plans, and more, and learned how these integrated processes make companies more efficient and agile. Let us review the key takeaways from this lesson. Enterprise resource planning is a software solution that unifies a company's core processes in one system, ensuring all departments share up-to-date information. By eliminating isolated systems, ERP helps avoid mistakes and duplicate work. Apple's departments coordinate better because they're all looking at the same data. Modern ERP systems update information instantly. This real-time visibility means quicker decision making. If there's a sudden surge in AirPods demand, Apple's ERP will show it immediately so the supply chain can respond. With all data in one place, companies can forecast and plan strategically. Apple can analyze sales, inventory, and production capacity together to make informed decisions about new product launches or expansions. ERP systems support business growth. As Apple grew from a small startup to a global tech giant, the need for integrated systems grew too. ERP solutions are designed to handle such expansion. Now, take a moment to reflect on the role of ERP in real life. Consider a company like Apple launching a major product without an ERP system. Different teams might be out of sync, inventory might run short or be overstocked, and financial tracking could become chaotic. On the other hand, with a robust ERP, Apple can orchestrate everything like a well-conducted symphony. Think about this question. How does having an integrated ERP system give a company like Apple an edge in innovation and customer satisfaction? By pondering this, you reinforce your understanding that ERP isn't just software. It's a strategic asset in business success. Great job on completing this lesson. You've built a foundation that will help you as we move forward. In the next lesson, we'll take a journey through the history and evolution of SAP, the company that became a leader in ERP solutions.